If we were to make Hellblade using standard AAA methods with our team of just 13 people, we'd be lucky to have any more than an hour of gameplay. So over the past few months we've been in our prototyping phase, where we've been exploring new ideas and new ways of working.
It's not enough for us to just make a smaller version of what we've done before. We're not competing on scale, therefore we have to compete on being different. Hellblade has to be something unique, something that you wouldn't be getting in a big budget AAA experience, so our approach to making the game has to be different too. The approach Dan took was to build the world out of kit parts, a little bit like Lego. The theory was that with the right building part sections, the right materials and the right props, you could populate large areas of the world very quickly and easily while maintaining the quality. Dan started by building a series of props in ZBrush, Maya and Photoshop. Props that could be scaled, deformed, repositioned and reused throughout the environment. Dan also created some scripts using Unreal's blueprint system so that you could position props in any environment and they would very naturally blend in. He took a multi-layered approach to texturing where he would combine hand-drawn textures with photographs, material shaders and also model geometry. This allowed him to create and reuse textures across large areas of the environment with no loss of detail and no repeating patterns. Bringing it all together, we picked a couple of areas for him to push his technique up to its full potential to see what kind of level of quality and detail we could achieve.
Thanks to the approach that Dan has taken, what seemed like a near impossible challenge, creating a AAA quality environment at a large scale with only one artist, now seems feasible.
The approach on enemies was to simplify the problem. Traditionally, when we built a character, every character would have their own animation rig, their own accessories and textures that are unique to that character. For Hellblade, the enemies will be humanoid and part of a unified Viking clan. To work out whether these constraints would allow us to create interesting enemies, we did some brainstorming on paper. Mark explored with a human frame how much variation he could achieve in the silhouettes of the characters. Claire also sketched out some ideas in 3D to explore different accessories and different silhouettes such as hat shapes and armor, etc. Taking this forward, Claire then modeled and textured a single in-game enemy character. From this one character, she was able to create multiple variations within the space of a week, simply by changing the shape, the accessories and the colors of the character.
Our prototypes show that it's possible for one artist to create a wide variety of enemies within our constraints. With this in mind, we'll move forward and design our full set of enemies in confidence.
Mel started working on a battle engine that would allow Alexander and G-Tech to start building the combat system out. We started by making a single attack look and feel good to set the start. From there we expanded outwards into fast attacks, heavy attacks, charge attacks, blocking, reactions, evades, all of the staples really. The camera view we chose allowed for the concept of directional attacks, which in turn opened up directional blocking and evading. Combat is a vast multi-layered beast, but at its core, at its base layer, it needs to be fast, responsive, tactical and nuanced.
We're now actively testing the game internally, and once we've refined this, we'll be beta testing it with some of you out there. It's one of the exciting ways that we think you can help us in the development of Hellblade.
Senua sees and experiences the world very differently from most people. It's part of what makes her unique. So we set about exploring how we could alter spatial and temporal perception for the player. For combat, we used previs in Maya to explore some of our more outlandish or strange ideas involving perception. Some of these ideas played tricks with time. There was an idea for having alter egos, and there were various other strange ideas, all based on focus and perception, that we explored. And it wasn't just in combat that we were interested in this idea of altered perceptions. So in the world itself, we also explored various optical illusions based on spatial positioning, perspective, mixing the senses of time, space and geometry in various different ways. It's something that we feel could lead us somewhere special, and we're actively exploring going forward.
Forcing the team size to stay small, far from crippling development, has encouraged each of us to throw out old habits, to think differently, and to explore new ways of working and creative problem solving. The challenges ahead remain overwhelming, and there are many unknowns, but we've been really encouraged by our approach so far. One last thing, we're looking for a talented and experienced senior character artist to join the Hellblade team. If you're interested, visit ninjatheory.com/jobs.